We are back.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, 17. How are we doing, guys? Good to see your face, Marky.
I see you too, brother.
Been a hot minute. It
Has been a minute, dude. It has been a minute. And we said it every fucking time.
has, though. We've had a nice little break.
We have.
Um, just traveling and seeing the world, and you have your speaking event, and we've been dying to catch up, and here we are, guys. You're gonna have a little. You're gonna come join us. I'm on my couch at home. Mark is in his in your living room. Where are you shooting
Yeah,
your
I'm in my
videos
living
from?
room. I
Yeah,
always shoot in my living room. So this
yeah,
is like literally the tightest corner of my table against my against my books. Because
yeah.
it's the only backdrop I've got where it's actually like a plant, a light, and something nice. Other than that, it's like a white wall, which is just going to make me disappear because I've always wear white shirts. So it's just going to make me look like a floating head.
Love it, love it. Yeah, but it's good to see you, man. How was your speaking event? So tell everyone what you were doing at the
Yeah,
expo.
cool.
Yeah,
So I got asked to go to be a guest speaker at Malaysia's first biohacking and longevity event in Kuala Lumpur. So I got asked to do a quantum biology talk on mental health wellness in the workplace because
cool.
obviously in Malaysia and Singapore they work stupid hours, and I mean they don't start work till like 10, but they'll work until like midnight. Like they work insane hours, and they're all obviously inside buildings. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I can talk about that. So I did a whole hour's, actually it was supposed to be an hour, but it ended up being an hour and a half. And I was talking to, there are professors and doctors and everyday folk and biohackers, longevity enthusiasts, business entrepreneurs and founders and investors and stuff there. And they'd actually have had a doctor and a professor come up to me at the end and ask if they could be mentored by me. And I was like, yeah, we'll discuss this when I get back to the UK. But right now, let's
Yeah,
just have some fun. But it was amazing, dude. Like, again, because I was running out of time, I couldn't cover all the slides I needed to cover. So I was literally just going through each slide, going like, right, three, two, one, take a picture, next. Because you know what people are like in lectures and stuff, they take pictures.
yeah,
So they had
yeah,
screens up everywhere, and they were just
yeah.
taking pictures and taking pictures. So I went there with our other good friend Nicole. She was a guest speaker there too, and she spoke about neurodivergency in children and how that's who she works with, families and people with neurodivergency, and that's a massive thing in Malaysia as well. So yeah, it went incredibly well. It was 3 days of just non-stop talking and networking and non-stop talking and networking, and that's great because obviously it's great to make these connections. Like I made a couple of connections where they want. So one of the professors wants me to go and do a lecture with him in Kazakhstan. Another professor wants me to go to her hospital in me and Nicole to go to her hospital in Borneo and help her set up a circadian retreat in a 120 million year old rainforest. So I was like, cool. Lots of opportunities going on there, which is fantastic. They're the types of opportunities I love because put me in front of a stage of people. Sorry, put me on stage in front of a floor of people, and I'll talk forever. So that was a great opportunity. But KL is where I was. KLCC is stunning. It's a city, don't get me wrong. And obviously, for a quantum biologist and circadian biologist, that was my hell because of the blue light everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's the muggiest, humid place I've ever been to. Like even El Salvador was not like that. Like I stepped out on my first day there, got out of the airport, got into my taxi, which is all air conned, everything's air conned. Drove to where I was staying, which is a lovely 5-star hotel, which they put me up in. I had my own swimming pool in my room, which was fantastic. Came downstairs to go and get some breakfast. It was a 20-minute walk to the local healthy cafe to get some like scrambled eggs and sourdough and all the rest of it, and hydrogen water. So I was like, yes, going here. Dude, I literally took 2 feet and my shirt looked like I'd actually gone swimming in it. And I was like, oh shit, this is really, really hot. And it's not even like heat, it's just the humidity. Like it's like 100% humidity. Everything is
Wow.
wringing wet. Like it's insane. Now I know why everything's got aircon, but that walk, I probably lost, I don't know, 5% body fat just on that walk alone. Sweating.
Go with your dry diet. Yeah.
Exactly, but it's a Muslim country, so you also have to respect the fact that they don't like people walking around with their tops off and stuff like that. So there's me, like, really, really don't want my shirt on right now. So yeah, I was absolutely soaking wet, but it's also very, very cheap for Brits. Very cheap,
Really?
oh, mate. It is insane. So again, 5-star hotel, 3 years old, pool in my room.
And the butler, right?
No, that was a different place. That was Abu Dhabi. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I was stayed there Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. So 4 nights, 5 days, £300.
Wow.
You can't get a hotel in London that's 5-star for £300 a night.
No.
All right.
Wow.
I then booked another place they're called residences. So you can basically book an apartment in a hotel block, basically. It was a 2-bedroom apartment, fridge, freezer, washing machine, everything you've got at home, like 750 square foot apartment,
Yeah.
everything. That cost me £320 for the Saturday night, the Sunday night, the Monday night, leaving Tuesday. Like, it's dirt cheap. So like going out for a meal, I don't know, like if I had a steak with some sides and a drink, that would cost me £10.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
£10 for a full-on sirloin steak, the whole lot. Like we all went out, five, six of us for dinner. Mains, desserts, drinks, wines, beers, cocktails, the whole lot. I paid half of that bill, and it was £80.
It cost you like that for
Mate,
yourself in
it's
London.
insane.
Wow.
If you earn what we earn in London and you move to Malaysia, you will live like a king, like an absolute king. Abu Dhabi is different. Abu Dhabi was expensive. Like I was there, I got there the Saturday, so Saturday night, Sunday night, left Monday. So I was there 3 days, 2 nights. That cost me 2,200. But that was a private resort. Used to be a royal palace, which they turned into a 22-room Greek-styled retreat called the Anantara Santorini retreat. And you've got a private beach. There's only 22 rooms, and every room has its own butler.
Santorini in Abu Dhabi.
Santorini,
Brilliant.
there you go, right? Every room's got its own butler. You only get breakfast. You have to pay for everything else, but you've got a full gym. You've got, I said, a private beach. You've got 3 or 4 restaurants there, all managed by the same people. The gym is better than the gym that I go to at home here. I booked a sauna and a cold plunge, not realizing that I've got access to a sauna, a cold plunge, a steam room, which I'd never use, to myself for 45 minutes. No other fucker came in. It was just me. I was like,
Wow.
oh, this is cool. So just backwards and forwards between a sauna and a cold plunge for like 45 minutes. I was like, yeah, this will do in 40-degree heat. So I spent
Yeah.
most of my time in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
But Abu Dhabi was different, man. Abu Dhabi was 40 degrees and the UV was 15.
Wow. That's high.
The highest it gets here is like 6.
Yeah. Well,
And
that was a big
I
shock
got,
for me.
dude,
Yeah.
I don't burn at all. You know that I don't burn. I went out at 10:30 in the morning. The UV was already then at 12, and all I've done is walk up and down the beach. I got back in, and I didn't think this was even possible. But all along here, where you don't put our body-friendly tanning oil, fucking burnt. Because I don't ever think to put tanning oil on my fucking eyelids.
Yeah.
So it burnt. And I was
You
like,
got red caterpillars over
do you know what
there.
I mean?
Can you see?
It was
Yeah.
crazy, dude. This deep tan is from there. I've kept it
Yeah.
ever since. And obviously, luckily,
Yeah.
Malaysia was hot and sunny as well, so I kept it there. And then when I landed, we had summer for like a week. I
Oh.
was lucky with that.
Yeah.
But the heat in Abu Dhabi is insane. But it's so nice there, man. It was clean, it was quiet, and I was in the middle of where this retreat is. You are slap bang in the middle of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. There is nothing, and when I mean nothing, there is nothing to do. You are on that retreat. You're not like trapped there. You can get cars and drive wherever you want, or they'll transfer you wherever you want to go. But I went there specifically knowing there was nothing to do, and I had to do a hard stop. I couldn't work. I could work. I
Yeah.
had a laptop, but I didn't do any work. Didn't reply to
yeah.
messages. 2 days, 3 days on my own, there with the people that were there, and just relaxing. And I did not realize, because bear in mind, I hadn't had a day off in like 2 years. I did not realize how tired I was. On that first night, I laid on my bed. Not that I'd normally lay in bed and watch TV, but I laid in bed watching a bit of TV. Must have been about 7:30. Next thing I knew, it was 5:30 in the morning. Like, I just sparked out. I was gone. So from 7:30 to 5:30, I just slept. I was that tired. My body just capitulated on the bed, and that was it. Done.
Yeah. There
It
you
was
go.
amazing, though. I'm going to go back to Abu Dhabi in October. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Wow. Yeah. And the speaking event sounds like a great success.
That was
Really does.
amazing. Like very
Yeah.
blessed. It's my first international speaking event, to be invited as a like a VIP guest, which was incredible. My business partners from Signs Beat the Ring, they were there as an exhibitor, and they were the ones who introduced me to the owner of the event who set it all up. So we met like the deputy health minister of Malaysia and all the rest of it, which was cool. Made some really good contacts, great opportunities coming in, which is fantastic. But again, you know what it's like when you go to these networking events, you meet the people, you have great conversations, great ideas, but you have to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
You have to keep it moving. What was weirder is I bumped into a mate of mine at the event who was also speaking, and I didn't even know he was going to be there. I literally was sat having lunch, looked up, and I was like, "Oh fuck me, that's Tom."
Wow.
And it's Tom who owns Kineon, a red light therapy device company. So I was
Oh,
like, "Tom," and he was like, "Oh, Mark, oh my god, what are you doing?" I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here? What are you doing here? Like, why are you here?" And he's like, "I'm doing a talk." I was like, "I gave a talk." He was like, "No fucking way." I was like, "Yes." So that was pretty cool. So it was nice to connect with him. Random to travel all that way and find a guy that I met in London.
yeah.
So that was cool. That was cool. But you have also a very interesting travel story, dude. So I think it's
Yeah.
important
Well,
that the listeners and viewers
yours was for
see
work.
your,
Mine was for pleasure.
yeah,
Mine was just to celebrate our marriage. It was almost
milestone,
6 months
dude.
ago. Yeah, it is a milestone. It's been 6 months, past 6 months now, which is wild. But we went to Costa Rica for our honeymoon, and oh, what a life changing trip that was. It's quite funny because when I came back, it's like, oh, how was your holiday? It's like honeymoon. It was honeymoon. It was not. But you can class it as that. It's a different phrase.
Yeah, you can call it a holiday, but it's really a honeymoon, which just basically means we traveled really, really far away to have lots of sex.
No comment. No comment. But we did so much in those 2 weeks we were there. We sort of did, hence the hat, Miami. Went to Miami first for a couple of days, which was really cool. Very like different style of living compared to what we have here. We are so behind. Well, our lifestyles here, like I still think there's a small percentage of people in the UK that get it. That are very health conscious, that look after themselves, but a large majority, hence the state of our health in the UK,
Yeah,
is massively behind.
yeah.
Everyone's up early, chasing the sun, going for runs, roller skating, cycling, playing beach volleyball at 6 in the morning.
It's like going into what's it, that Grand Theft Auto Vice City, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And it like opened my eyes. So I ticked the bucket list of actually getting a workout in on Muscle Beach.
Go on, son.
Do you know, I was never so I was so sore, and I was going to pick your brain on that. I don't know if that's to do with the deuterium, or the fact that it was just the time zone change, or the amount of UV ultraviolet light on the beach. Because
Do you want me to answer it for you?
go for it, go
Okay,
for
cool.
it.
So when you are training indoors, you are under a polarized blue light environment.
Yes,
When we let me just pin that for a moment. One of the things that we want in our body all the time is mitochondrial biogenesis, the growth of new mitochondria. But we want the growth of healthy, complete, perfectly shaped mitochondria. Unfortunately, the majority of people's mitochondria, due to all the non-native EMF, and this is all through Doug Wallace's work, is defunct. They're basically deformed. Sorry for anybody that upsets that from that what I just did there, but it's deformed and it doesn't shape properly and it doesn't function properly. The problem with that is then when they get copied, you get a copy of that dysfunction, and that function gets worse over time. So the reason why I'm explaining this is because when you go to the gym, one of the things that grows new mitochondria and causes mitochondrial biogenesis is exercise. So you are now in a blue light environment, which the mitochondria do not like because it's the wrong type of blue. It's not the 480 nanowave blue that we need. It's a much different spectrum and polarized on its own. But also at the same time, because that blue light in that gym is also then surrounded by all this equipment, treadmills, stairmasters, all this other type of stuff, Wi-Fi, TVs, the lighting signals, all that stuff, that's all radio wave and Wi-Fi frequencies. The
yeah,
mitochondria don't like that either because that just shapes them and changes them. So the non-native EMS stress plus the polarized blue light is creating the exercise is creating new mitochondria, but they're deformed. which means you're not getting a very good ATP output, which means you're not contracting muscles completely. You're not reaching proper failure. You are never really taking yourself to that point where the muscle is fully doing the job.
Mm.
You are outside, you are under proper infrared light and the proper blue light spectrum with all the other spectrums, but the blue light and the infrared is the most important thing, because the infrared is what's feeding the mitochondria properly at cytochrome C. So they're creating the oxygen chain transport kind of, how can I explain this?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
Cytochrome C oxidase is basically helping oxygen get turned into ATP. Redundant way of saying it, but that's basically what's happening. So when you're outside in your training, you are getting far more ATP production, which means you are producing more energy, which means you are doing more
Yeah.
exercise in
Yeah.
the sense of you'll probably be able to train longer, do more reps, but you'll also be contracting your muscles way fucking harder than
Yeah.
what you can do in the gym.
Yeah.
So what's happened there with you is because you're outside, you've contracted way more, you've trained way harder, even though it felt the same effort. That's why you got DOMS. That happened to me initially in El Salvador for the first day when I trained outside, but then every concurrent day after that, I never got DOMS, not
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
my
mate, I was
body
so
adapted.
sore. I've never had like soreness like it. But I thought that would be the case because of being outside, being so close to a bit close to the equator, on the beach. You've got,
You're
you're not.
grounded as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you've got a lot of that beneficial light information that makes complete sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, for those who didn't get that, basically the batteries of your cells have got more beneficial information coming in, not being absolutely bombarded. It's basically like the difference between eating organic, clean meat and vegetables and fruit versus ultra processed junk. It's basically that ultra processed junk is kind of like what's happening when we train in indoor gyms, basically.
So
So
basically, like when you're training in an indoor gym, it's like using your iPhone when it's at 20% battery,
mm,
and you have to put it on low battery mode. Everything slows down. Apps don't load as quick. It spools a little bit. It can't flick between apps quickly. All that stuff. That's basically what's happening when you're in the gym. And then when you go outside and you train, all of a sudden your phone is brand new and it's 100% charged. And now everything is.
yeah.
That's
It
the,
makes a lot of sense. But we did basically we did that. We took that bucket list off, and it was awesome. And then 2 days in Miami, went for the first time. Then if you saw my stories, Mark, a Waymo, because closed company, they make the chip. Arm make the chip that power these cars. They're basically self-driven
yeah,
cars.
the self-driving cars. Yeah,
Oh, mate,
I had them in Austin when I was there.
yeah, nah, not for me that.
Not for me. And again, if
I,
I use it, if I use a story from a friend of ours,
yeah,
when she was in those in China, she threw up.
really,
Yeah, because they don't drive like humans. They don't brake slowly and
yeah,
gradually. They stop, 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 stop.
yeah,
You're just
yeah.
constantly doing this the whole time, and you're getting swerved around. And she threw up.
Bless her.
But I was
Oh,
like, no, I'm not getting in one of those fucking things.
yeah. It was Chloe loved it because she works with AI and tech. And I'm like, me like human interaction. I want to
Yeah,
ask, hello, mate. What restaurants do you recommend to go and do?
exactly. Yeah, give me a proper driver all the time.
Give me a nice story. We've got 20 minutes to the airport. So I didn't like that whatsoever. But there were some really cool places. Everyone was very health conscious, health centric. Went to a really cool chain called Avo in Miami, which you would have loved as well. They served Keon, protein shakes, Ben
Yeah,
Greenfield stuff.
yeah, Kenyon stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, methylene blue in smoothies. Everything was cooked in avocado oil, grass-fed steak. Mate, it was nuts. It was absolutely wild. And then you go over here, you're just surrounded by KFC, and McDonald's, and Turkish barbers and vape
and
shops.
vape shops.
It's completely
I
different.
know, I know, and this was the same when I was in Austin. I was just like, this is
Yeah,
we are not just far behind.
yeah,
We are like 1990s far behind here. This
yeah.
is
It's
mad.
it's very eye-opening. But you know, that aside, flying to Costa Rica and doing what we did was just incredible. We did so much in 2 weeks, and we had it all planned out by a company. So we were sort of 2 days in one area, moving around. So moving in a suitcase was interesting and fun. But we had, mixture of luxury, and then we had some very eye-opening experiences, which I'll go into, which make you appreciate what you have so much more. That's one thing that I took away from all of it was, although we stayed in some luxury resort up in the cloud forest doing trekking and seeing all this wildlife and coatis and all this, tarantulas and all these different birds and wildlife. The water is so pure out there, you can drink it. You don't need to filter it. The food is just nuts.
Whereas in the sense of like you just have nuts.
Sorry, was incredible. Use of phrase, like the food was out of this world.
I'm being a prick there, but
I know you are. And then moving down south from the cloud forest from Monteverde, where we were, up in the cloud forest, cacao farm, learning how where cacao, coffee is grown, cane sugar, like all that was incredible. And then we moved to this quite questionable part, which is the Gulf of Nicoya. We stayed in this eco lodge, which was very basic, and we were the only guests there. And it felt like that
I
bit
saw that story where you were staying with a family, right?
it's a family-run business that didn't
Yeah.
speak a word of English,
Yeah.
so we had to go off closed Spanish, which is much better than mine. And you could already set the tone because poor Chloe, she lost her phone when we got there. We saw it drop like on the Find My iPhone app. It with the taxi driver off in the mountains. We were like, oh shit. That kind of set the tone for like this is gonna be a disaster. There's ants all in the room. There's no aircon. There's just a fan. Very basic, but you know what? That aside, and that sort of that experience opens your eyes a little bit and makes you greatly appreciative to what we have here a little bit. Everything was questionable. Like at times we thought it felt a bit like Cabin in the Woods. Like no one ever leaves. No one ever leaves this La Senada. It felt like that. It would be a great script. I think I could write for a horror film with that. But where are you ever going to be that close to howler monkeys and all these amazing like iguanas running around? We were the only ones there, But it was nice to then move to civilization, a bit closer to a beach town called Santa Teresa. That was very like full of Americans. It was very like nomad sort of lifestyle coffee shop. You get up, you go surf, you go get a coffee, you chill, and you're in a coffee shop all morning, afternoon. Then it's the lifestyle, right? So that was eye opening. Learned how to surf. Again, it's interesting with the UV. Like that was a big shot. It was 14 over there, but mate, because you got the same sunrise to sunset, that 12 hours of daylight, it was incredible. Like I've never felt so relaxed and recharged in my life. It felt hard to switch off in the first 5 days, but I just sort of like just kind of rested, took a step back, and just allowed permission to unwind. And I very quickly realized all the prior health stuff of going out in the sun. I think I used maybe a mineral-based sunscreen, a zinc nano oxide one for like 5 days, and I didn't bother after that because we didn't burn once. No sunglasses, out every day, getting morning light, putting the things that we've said on this podcast many a times to the test. And I used to be someone that used to burn all the time, had a terrible diet, and I haven't worn like any sunscreen for the latter half of the trip. Just applied coconut oil, which hasn't really got any SPF in it, but yeah, come back with a golden glow, and yeah, I felt incredible. And we did so much in that trip. Like it was hard to condense everything into one, but it was a life-changing trip. We came back with a different perspective and very grateful as well, because there's people out there that got nothing, Mark.
Yep.
They live in literal tin huts, and we're moaning because we got sent the wrong fucking food from Ocado or something. Like
First
what?
world problems, dude.
First world problem. Exactly, exactly. So it's definitely opened my eyes, and I've been just yeah. Ever since I come back, I've showed up more, been more present in everything. Um, yeah, it was a if guys, if you are listening to this, if you ever get the opportunity to go and travel to South America like that, please do it. And also book up some cool things to do. Like we did, like fucking went zip lining, went into waterfalls, jumping into like natural like rivers, and yeah, ate local food. That was the bit I really miss, is eating, rice and eggs every morning and fruit. Obviously, over here we shouldn't really be eating, and we discussed this, bananas and papaya and mango and pineapple. It's just not grown here. But when you,
Watermelon.
yeah, well, we just haven't got those foods here, you know. Unless you want to eat it from a vertical farm, which is not something I want to be doing anytime soon. Just FYI, side note, Mark, they're selling that in M&S now. I think we should talk about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, vertical farmed salads. Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
Just open up a little bit of Pandora's box. But yeah, like you shouldn't be eating those foods here. We should just stick to what was grown in the UK. Your rhubarbs, your raspberries, your strawberries. Like those are sort of fruits we should be having in the UK. Peaches, apricots, not fucking bananas and kiwi fruit. As much as I love it, like I've had it really hard to come back. Like, oh,
I was the same.
I really want those foods, but they're not grown
All I
here.
ate for breakfast in Abu Dhabi and in KL was fruits. I had fruit in the morning with yogurt, some Greek
Yeah,
yogurt. Then
yeah,
I would have my eggs with a bit of sourdough and some bacon. That was my breakfast every single morning, pretty much. And
yeah,
when I got back, I was like, how can I replicate this? And I was like, right, what fruits in season? Strawberries. No.
yeah. Rhubarb.
I was like, great. Well, I'm not gonna sit there with rhubarb in my yogurt, so I've just been having strawberries. That would do. At least we've got honey in season though, which is good.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Bought
yeah,
myself
yeah.
some
Love
nice
the honey.
seasonal raw honey, so I have that with my yogurt and stuff in the morning. Then my eggs, and then I'll have my. The one thing I did miss while I was abroad was my sardines and my mackerel. I love having that like in the day, but for breakfast anyway. But I didn't have any of those, so I was like, again, like Abu Dhabi food was great because it was fresh and it was all clean and obviously like looked after. But KL, the food was a little bit hit and miss.
Okay.
I went and ate at one restaurant. I ordered a sirloin steak. So I ordered a steak. My friend ordered a steak. Her son ordered a pizza, and her mum and dad, one ordered a steak, and the other ordered fish and chips. And they literally got one plate every 5 minutes. And then ours took 10 minutes to turn up. And when they turned up, our steak was cold. I was like, I'm not eating a medium done, medium rare, cold steak. Like, how long has that been sat on that side to be cold in a temperature which is like 100% humidity? Like 36 degrees. That's got to be have sat somewhere else. I was like, I'm not paying for it. Sorry, I don't care if it does cost me £4. I'm not paying for that. So KL, the food was a bit hit and miss, but we did luckily find a burger and lobster, which is a London restaurant.
All
That's
right.
good food. And we found another place called Oriental Park, which was fantastic. Like the food was incredible. So I was like, right, eating here every day. This is now the mainstay. Because
Yeah.
again, like it's the food is very hit and miss out there in KL.
Right.
I have to be honest. Abu Dhabi was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Loved it all.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, I miss the fruits.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not the same, but again, gives you the drive to want to travel more. We definitely want to tick off more stuff.
Yes.
I definitely have come back more relaxed. That's for sure. Not got swept up in all the shit that is always going on here. Particularly
Yeah.
before going away, I felt a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit anxious. Like, oh God, what as if nothing. I have no one to come back to, and I'm taking that amount of time out. It's the first time I've ever taken that length of time out of my business. But hey, this is the whole point of owning a business and having this freedom. Really, is to be able to test this.
And also just set the expectations. I signed up 4 clients before I left, and I was like, right,
Yeah,
just so you guys know, in 4 days' time, I'm going away. No protocols will be written, no analysis will be done while I'm away. I won't be back until this date. And then once I'm back, I obviously need to get into everything and get back into the routine of stuff. So your protocols won't be done until this date. They're like, yeah, sure, fine, no problem.
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
I will communicate with you while I'm away, but just remember I'm going to be 4 hours ahead of you. Then I'll be 7 hours ahead of you, which means when you're still in your evening, I'll be in bed. So, I get 6 o'clock in the evening for you, that's 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So please don't message me because I will not respond. So just setting the right expectations because
Yeah,
you've got to have
exactly.
this freedom. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree, and it's important to have boundaries as well.
It is.
You know, because this I think is part of the problem with our culture is this hustle 9 to 5 culture, like not having a boundary. I'll just reply to that. It's like, well, it's eating to your evening now. Like
It's
you're
just
just gonna
distracting
just set
people.
your nervous system off. Oh, but it's only just one email. I'm like, yeah, but it's not because it's a pattern, isn't
It's
it?
what the email stands for. If you respond, like I had a message come through from a company that I'm speaking for or speaking at their event. They messaged me on Sunday, 8 o'clock at night. Can you do this? I just looked at the message and was like, not now, I can't. Shut my phone. I was like, no, not doing it. So I just responded the next morning. I won't because if I respond then,
It's actually
and
example.
it sets the example that they can always reach me on a Sunday. Never
Yeah,
happening. Sunday,
yeah,
Sunday, Saturday is different. I don't mind Saturdays, but Sundays is literally like a no go. You will not get a reply from me on a Sunday.
yeah,
That's the day for me, and I will not. I will not budge. I don't care. Doesn't matter to
yeah.
me.
It's been hard. I'm slowly getting there. With the Sunday as well. Saturday is a bit different because it's, I do some work on a Saturday morning, but I agree. It's a hard one to let go of, isn't it? Working in the fitness industry because it is just non-stop, isn't it? Really?
There has to be boundaries. There has to be. Everybody else gets a weekend off. We don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
when you work for yourself, you're expected to work 7 days a week, and when you work for somebody else, you're expected to get the weekend off. So how does that work then?
Yeah. Oh, excellent, excellent. But it's good. It's good to be back. I don't know how you found it. So we were just talking off air about sleep patterns and stuff. Do you know a great app, Mark, that I remember Daniel talking about that I finally got to use? Because I thought, well, I only ever go to Europe, so I don't really need to do a whole time shift. Was
Oh, the
the
time shift app.
Yeah? What a
Yeah, I
fucking
use that
brilliant
as
app!
well. It's a great app.
What a brilliant app! Like guys, the first time shift you do is free, so definitely take advantage of that. But essentially, an app that trains you to get used on onto UK time again. So
Vice versa if you're going
yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah, if and vice versa. Apologies. So it shifts your circadian, your biological clock to that local time. It's wicked. Like
Very
it
cool.
was very hard though. Like I remember you saying about the plane nodding off. That was the weirdest bit coming back from Miami to Heathrow was that time difference because we had a very late night flight and it was delayed, so it was meant to sort of like go off at like 10, and then um, we actually didn't leave until like half 11, and the app was like, yeah, in literally like 30 minutes you got to go for a nap. So I was like, you board the plane, eye mask, headphones, listen to rain and meditation,
Yeah.
blanket, and try and nap. That was hard. And they're serving bloody, like meals at that time anyway, which was interesting. The hardest thing I found was, and luckily having blue light glasses is a lot more helpful, but
Mm.
waking up in Miami time at 2 a.m. and whilst all the cabin is asleep, yeah, no one's about, it's dark to simulate like the night. I had to wake up and have a coffee. That was that was bonkers, absolutely bonkers. And try and stay awake from like 2 till I think like yeah till 6 to have another nap. But hey, it worked because I got back here. We landed here, and because it was then 5 hours ahead rather than 5 hours behind, so we landed here like 10. Coming back was not a problem, and poor old Chloe, she didn't, she didn't do the app, so she suffered hard. I should be laughing. It's cruel, but I was smug sitting on this sofa like, oh, well, I'm actually looking forward to going to bed at night. I'm actually drifting off. No jet lag. So the powers of getting light, knowing when to use it, when to shut off. It does, yeah, because there's nothing worse. And I think as well, I'll be interested to know because we did discuss this when we went from Greenwich Mean Time, to the clocks going forward. Yeah. how many issues it causes for people, like
Loads,
increased
loads.
cardiovascular deaths and incidents, insurances, like,
Yeah. Car
issues at
accidents.
work. Yeah. Uh, on the roads, the poor insurance companies, they see an influx in call out charges
Because
and
of
call outs
accidents. Yeah.
and accidents.
Accidents, heart attacks, and there's one other. They get an increase in heart attacks, road accidents, and something else that happens
Stroke,
when the clocks go
maybe.
forward. Possibly. When the
Yeah.
clocks go forward, they get a massive influx. Massive.
But yeah, like it makes complete sense. Like I don't know why we still do it. I don't know, like we
It's
should.
madness, dude. It's madness. If you think of it
Yeah.
like right now in the UK, I love the sunrise because it's 4:30. It's great, but sunset's 10 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
we're not even at the summer solstice yet. So it's still going to get later and later. Like the latest it will get is 10:30.
Yeah.
It's actually just after 10:30. It's like
Half 10.
20, I think it's like 28 minutes to 11 or something like that. That's the
Yeah.
latest it will go, which means our sunrise will be like 4.
Yeah.
If they hadn't moved that forward, it means it would have been 9:30, and it would have been 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is a
Oh,
bit, yeah, it's a bit
that's
more.
much nicer,
Yeah.
right? Like it's more sociable. It means you're not getting up at like 4 in the morning to go and see the sun. Well, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning to see the sunrise. It means that my day is now like a whole year long just to have a day. I get a shit ton done, but then my sleep window is massively compressed, and I think it's bonkers because again, when you ask them why they're doing it, oh, farmers. Okay,
Yeah.
100 years ago, cool. When they were like using cows
Yeah.
or horses to pull their plows and shit, cool. I get that, but they've now got massive big tractors with fucking huge lights on. They don't need the bloody clocks to change.
Yeah.
What is this
Yeah.
madness? Why are
Yeah.
you doing it? I mean, it used to be so bad in the UK. We had different time zones in different parts of the UK, and people don't know this. Liverpool was a different time zone to London.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't believe it either. I was listening to it
No, I don't believe that,
an
but
audio book, and I was listening to this
yeah.
book, and it was like, yeah, back in the day, this was this and this. And I was like, really? It's like that's mad. But like, why? Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I know. And also, the government hate fucking British farmers anyway.
Yeah.
So they're
Like,
not.
it's just,
I
it's just
can't say it's to do with farmers. It's
yeah.
just, again, another thing that slips under the radar that does have massive implications. That we'll just normalise. We'll sort that out later.
Yeah, we don't mind if people have massive increases in cardiac arrests, strokes, and car accidents. That's fine.
Yeah.
The overrun NHS that we give no money to can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
reckon? Honestly, it's batshit crazy. And what's even worse is that's adopted worldwide. Like,
Yeah.
who
Yes.
drank that Kool-Aid thinking that was a really good bloody idea?
Yeah. I
We're
know,
already
Mark.
in different time zones. Why do you need to also move the clocks backwards and forwards? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
don't see a line being like, oh, couple of hours and the clocks are going to go forward.
Yeah.
Because they ain't going to know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. It is
Why do we
bonkers,
need
isn't
that
it?
bit? It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's going to get me on the track of why government thinks they can run the bloody world. You're just here to run a city. You don't get to decide what happens to the weather and the time. You're not God.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Ah, Mr. Herb. He's getting jealous. Wants to sit his sofa. Um.
My sofa.
Yeah. But that is bonkers, and I don't know if you've noticed this. There's a lot more bonkers. I've tried not to get swept up into, since we're coming back. Actually, what's going on?
Dude, it's literally Krusty the Clown world out there right now. Like, I swear to God, it's the stupidest shit. It's like the guys who write South Park, who write The Simpsons, and write Family Guy all got together and went, right, we've been governed the ability to run the world. What crazy shit can we do? It's fucking madness what's going on out there at the moment. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
something I want to add, something I realized this the other day before I went away. All this hantavirus bullshit was going on. Bearing in mind, everybody that's listening
Yeah.
and watching, the hantavirus has been around for a very long time, and there are cases worldwide all the time. But it's one, not transferable, and two, the guy that I listened to, who was one of the leading researchers from I forget what university, who actually studied the hantavirus, said, I don't know what they're panicking about. It can only be transferred from rats. So
Yeah.
he was like, so New York City is a bit of a mess. So like, these people on the boat, got 150 people on a boat, Only one person records a video. One out of
I think that's
150
it.
people.
Yeah,
Really? If I
yeah,
was on a boat and I got stuck there, I'd be live streaming all the fucking time because I'd be bored out of my mind.
yeah.
I'm like, right,
The
day
price
two
factor.
on the hantavirus ship,
Yeah,
right? But it was bullshit. And now all of a sudden, where is it?
yeah. Well, no, it's been swept up because they've realised that we can't really.
And nobody's paying attention.
Yeah,
The Ebola's gone. The Ebola that happened before the hantavirus, that's gone. The hantavirus is gone because everyone's like,
yeah, yeah.
on
No,
this. Bill
shit.
Gates. Bill Gates at it again.
Yeah, I'll tell you the wild thing though, I think that's funny how quickly that swept on the rug, and people exposing the camera behind it. There's a bloke with a video camera,
Yeah.
that got
Directing
got
him.
papped and directed it, and the people obviously in full hazmat suits carrying, some, I don't know what it was, some dummy in a cling film, but the guy recording it was a well-known crisis actor that was pushing the vaccines on everyone to
He
begin
was.
with.
Yep.
So that guy should be shot. That's a big phrase I don't like using, but if you're pushing that stuff on children and young girls, which he was back during COVID, I'm sorry, but
I think
that's
cannon.
shocking.
I think a cannon placed about a foot away from a wall, aimed at that wall. He then gets put in it and shot out of it. I think that is the most appropriate thing to do to something
Yeah.
like that. I think
Anyone pushing
as
that
well.
on anyone, I
Yeah.
seriously question
Yeah.
question them. But not just that, but the worrying thing that hasn't happened here yet, which something could brew, was the you seen the Lone Star ticks causing Apagaw syndrome.
Yeah. That's a lab grown tick.
Yeah. So
That's Bill Gates because he wants people
yeah,
to eat his meat, his lab
yeah.
grown meat, and his insects.
Well, the stock prices for Beyond Meat have tanked anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
But yeah, alpha-gal
One,
syndrome. That is all
but
same as Lyme disease. Same as Lyme disease. It was
yeah.
invented in a lab and then released.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically, for those who don't know what's happening, who love listening to our podcast, in the US, there are farmers that are finding boxes of ticks on their fields, predominantly those who have cattle, because this has always been the ploy since 2022 when it first came to our light. This war on red meat and farming in general, causing CO2 emissions, which is absolutely bananas. But that's the world we live in. And these poor folk are getting bitten by said engineered ticks and are developing a very nasty autoimmune condition, which makes you allergic and have aversion to eating meat. So you're getting all of the immune reactions with it, of the skin, obviously digestive issues, so not being able to tolerate meat anymore, which I think is absolutely criminal.
It's criminal, mate.
But it's been happening. If you think of it, history likes to repeat itself, and I'm becoming more and more aware of this, of like patterns and symbols, and yeah, definitely woo-woo shit for those who are out there. But hey, it's stuff's been going on for a millennia, really.
Longer than, dude.
Yeah,
Very
like
long.
the plague, the bubonic plague with rats, poisoning, those in power, like people disappearing. It happens every day. And that noise, I think, like before I went away, I got swept up into it. And like, it can really cloud your judgment. And that's the narrative they want. They want us to be feared. They want us to worry. They want us to panic because it pulls us away from ourselves. You can see it with AI. You can see it with, chips going into people's brains, children being indoctrinated into using it from an early age, even TV shows that I didn't watch as a kid, and I would certainly not make my kid watch now, that are programming us. And I am sounding a bit woo-woo and a bit tinfoil hat, but hey, this is what we've got. It's all programming. It's all like it's a simple cycle. So this is why it's so important to go and travel, to go and see different cultures, go to third world countries and do something that is out of your routine that, you wouldn't normally do, because we have got amazing abilities and we're just being told that we aren't worth nothing. Our lives don't matter. Like, we don't have a say. You do. And you have a choice. You know, I certainly don't want to be reliant on a system that we know where it's heading, which you're confounded to your own street and city. It's time for us to be more aware. And I'm so thankful for you listeners, because you possibly are aware of what's going on and you do make the right choices when it comes to exercise, food, going outside, looking at where your water's sourced, you know, where your food's coming from. This is where it starts, you know. And bloody hell, if I rewind the clock, I wasn't doing this shit 5-6 years ago. And my life and my awareness and my overall health has improved year on year out because of these things. And you're not going to be perfect. It's impossible to be perfect, you know. And there does need to be a balance, doesn't there, Mark, with health and happiness. But the first step to all this is just every now and again input into the matrix to see like what's going on, and then make a calculated decision and do the opposite. Do the opposite.
And you know, everything you see in the media is a lie. Everything. Like 60% of it's fake and the rest of it's bullshit. Like, that's how it works. You know, they're not there to tell you a story and to give you the truth. They're there to tell you what they've been told to tell you. Like, all the major media outlets are owned by the same people, like every single one. And you know, Bill Gates has got his hand in all of that as well. You know, all you've got to do is research it. He's a contributor in the sense of funds to the people or the companies that own Sky, the BBC, ITV, and so on. Mainstream news, mainstream newspapers, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is all curated based around their agenda as to what they want you to know. This is why whatever they say, always ask that question. Incentives dictate outcomes. What is the incentive? It's not for you. It's not for the betterment of you in any way, shape or form. Do you honestly think if they put 15-minute cities around everywhere, that the Prime Minister's not going to get on his private jet and go for a fly, not going to get in his chauffeur-driven car and drive to his other house? Of course he is. He's not bound by a 15-minute city. They've already made sure that in the law, they don't get governed by it at all. Well, hang on a minute. That's not right. Because when we had this fuel crisis,
Yeah.
they were still flying around everywhere in their fucking private jets.
Yeah.
They were still able to chemtrail. I would see 6, 7, 8, 9 planes chemtrailing every single morning.
Yeah.
So how's there a fuel crisis?
Yeah.
Because they said that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's true. Nobody ever stops to ask the question, is this true? You just listen to what they tell you. Oh, some dude on Sky said this is happening. It must be true.
No.
Why? Why must it be true?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, just as a thing to kind of look at here, and as another example, the guys that attacked that police officer in the airport. Do you remember? Have you seen this now?
A little bit.
Police officer got her nose broken by a guy.
Oh yes, yeah. Terrific, horrific accident. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't an accident. It was deliberately done.
Yeah. No. Sorry. Deliberately done.
Do you know they've got off?
Incident.
Do you know they've got off?
I did read that. Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, they all got off scot-free. Do you want to know why? Because it was too available on public social media. Couldn't be a fair trial. I'm sorry. What are you smoking? What? What do you mean it's too open, it's too out there, everybody knows about it, so it can't be fair? What's fair about a guy punching a police officer in the face, a female police officer in the face and breaking her nose? What's fair about that? The young lad that just got arrested and was stabbed in the lung.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the guy who stabbed him called the police and said that he was abused, racially abused. The police turned up and the poor young lad, this Novad guy, whatever his name is, laying on the floor going, I've been stabbed, I can't breathe. And they're handcuffing him going, yeah, of course you have, mate. Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, disgraceful.
Like, unbelievable stuff out there. So this is why now when we say, like, you can't trust what you see, you have to ask better questions and you have to have a lot more cognitive functioning, a lot more first principles thinking. Like, there's crazy shit going on out there, which is unbelievable, but it's true. And the more you see it, the more you can't unsee it. The more you realise that chemtrails are true and that this whole alien file thing that's just been released, well, yeah, okay. Everyone's been talking about this since like the 50s, like catch up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, but why are they doing it? Because they want to desensitize you to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way then when they do release it, you're just like, yeah, whatever.
No, this is it. Like I had a very cool conversation with. I've got a few epic clients that I love having these conversations with. One we were playing paddle on the weekend with, and all this technology that we're around only just seeing has been around 20 years ago. It's just we've been desensitized to it. It's always been there. They release it when they want to release it.
Yeah. So here's an interesting one on that topic as well. Just quickly, just to tap into what you're saying. I was watching a documentary the other night. They were talking about this thing where people were saying, like, when you watch certain actors, or like they use Biden as an example, like some of him video footage, you could look at his neck and the skin was peeling away from his neck down here, right? And everyone's like, he's a clone, he's a clone, he's a clone. This guy was saying it's not a clone, it's just not him. The original, it was either Ronald Reagan or the original Bush, not Junior, the senior. One of his main appointed people, this is 30 years ago, 35 years ago, something like that. She went in wearing a mask. It was so real that he didn't know it was her. He just assumed it was a new member of staff until she took her face off.
Yeah.
And he was apparently stunned.
Yeah.
It was so realistic. That was 35 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's been
imagine
drip
what
fed,
they
isn't
can
it?
do. Yeah, but imagine what they can do now.
Yeah, no, but this is it. They've been drip fed into films, Mission Impossible. I know it's sort of like, it's not real.
It is.
When you do a bit of reading, all this stuff is available. We've just been desensitized to it. But
Of course. Like, drones. I'm sure they've had drones for the last 40 years.
100%.
Right? All the stuff that we use now, they've had them for years. The patent for this touchscreen, do you know when it was submitted?
No, interesting.
1989, and we didn't get that until 2008.
Yeah.
Gotta do your research.
Damn.
Gotta do your research.
Yeah.
Have to know these things because they're fucking lying to us all the time. Whenever the Prime Minister of this country opens his mouth, he's lying. Every time he's lying. And it's not just this Prime Minister, it's been every Prime Minister. They've all been liars.
Yeah, no. What's the classic quote?
What, from Starmer? I was about to say, he hasn't got any.
No, one to nicely end on is memento mori, a Latin phrase that translates to remember that you must die.
Memento mori, remember you're going to die.
Yeah, just like that's the other part of the equation I always get hit with. But we're all going to die one day. I'm like, it's true, but I want to live it in the most vibrant, healthy, sovereign way possible. I don't want to be a victim of this stuff going on. I want to have control of my own fate. That's the one I was also looking for as well.
This is why sovereignty is so important. This is why decentralization is so important. This is why, if you can truly grasp what Bitcoin is about, it's not about digital currency. It's about decentralizing something which we are being controlled by. That's the thing. And Bitcoin is exactly the same as your health.
Yeah.
It has to be decentralized. It has to be you that has that sovereign right to decide what you do, what you put in your body, and when. What you do with your body, nobody has that right to decide that. It's yours. It's your God-given right to be able to choose what you do with your body and your health and your life. No one else. They can't block the sun out and say, oh no, you can't have it. I'm sorry, but who are you to block the sun? You're literally put in charge to run a city. You have no power to block the sun. What the fuck do you think you're playing at? But I haven't said that. I haven't said you can do that.
Yeah. I think that's one to discuss off air, Mark.
What's that?
That we should get involved with later in the year.
What's that one?
Just like a petition.
Yes.
To write to local MPs, because it's a big problem and it needs to be highlighted. But that I will talk about off air. That's a different beast in itself. But no, what an episode that was, and we would love to hear some feedback from you guys as well. What subjects that you want to hear more of? Because we've got some more guest speakers in mind, and I want to line them up and discuss with Mark in a minute. But we'd love to know as well what you've enjoyed so far. Now that this is episode 17. We're absolutely flying through. It's just a passion project for us, but it's so nice to hear that there's so many people worldwide that listen to this, which is so, I just think it's nuts because I'm just shooting this in my living room. But yeah, it's. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to us rambling on our many passions. But what would you like to hear more of when it comes to your health? More nutrition, more new training, supplements, more biohacking, or the other side of the things we discussed with the decentralization of what you should be doing. We've always said this as a passion project to put together a community, a platform, maybe something that we grow to invite other people on, where to source certain foods from, more training. It's always been on our list of many things to achieve, but we don't want to stop. We want to keep going. So we want to hear from you. So if you could reach out in the description notes down below, our email address, come and write into us, or even just on social media, drop us a message and have your say and give us some feedback. It would be greatly appreciated.
Yep, agreed.
Boom.
There we go. Nothing to add there, brother. Nothing to add on that one.
We'll connect in our next episode, and look forward to welcome you back then, guys. So goodbye everyone.
Stay blessed, everybody.
Stay blessed.